The U.S. Supreme Court will hear oral arguments tomorrow in a case that could upend a federal law that's been in place now for nearly 30 years.
It is current law to take guns away from people who have been charged with domestic violence. And the case being considered is from North Texas. Fox 4's Sean Rabb has this story live. Sean.
Yeah, the question is whether these laws designed to take guns away from people charged with domestic violence violate somehow the Second Amendment. So the question before the High Court is, when does a person forfeit their right to have this gun?
My husband of almost 22 years pulled me into the bedroom on a random Saturday afternoon saying there was something he wanted to discuss, but not in front of the children. He pulled out a 45 caliber handgun, shot me 3 times, and then committed suicide.
Gun violence survivor Stephanie Boone hopes the Supreme Court will leave in place the federal law that temporarily takes guns away from a person charged, not convicted, of domestic violence. Earlier this year, the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals ruled the law unconstitutional, overturning the conviction of an Arlington man, Zaki Rahimi, who fired a weapon 5 times in 2 months at others after being charged with domestic violence and with the protective order in place prohibiting his having weapons. SMU Law School professor Natalie Nanasi says the Fifth Circuit followed an opinion the Supreme Court had issued in a New York State gun case,
which says a regulation is constitutional if there's a historical precedent for it. And what the Fifth Circuit found was, because there weren't domestic violence protective orders back when the Second Amendment was ratified in 1791, that the present-day regulation was unconstitutional.
Jan Langbine with Genesis Women's Shelter sees a tragic link between guns and the most violent abusers.
We know that here in Dallas County, approximately 65% of those women who are killed by their abuser with a firearm.
Gun rights advocates say you're taking my weapons away before I've been convicted of a crime.
Correct. I hear that, but there's an easy answer to that. We're not anti-firearms of all kinds to all people. Just don't abuse your family in your home, and there'll be no question about this.
The question now is, what will the High Court decide?
I think that the court is going to do what most reasonable people in this country would agree is the right thing to do, which is to say that domestic violence offenders should not be able to have access to guns. I think that there's a way for them to analyze the law to let that happen.
This law is so important because I'm one of the lucky ones. I survived, but women die every day when domestic violence is in the home and there is a handgun present.
So again, oral arguments Tuesday morning. There will certainly be many folks outside of the Supreme Court tomorrow on both sides of this issue. The court will hear the oral arguments, and their opinion likely won't come until the summer of 2024.
All right, Sean Rabb in Dallas. Thank you, Sean.